The Senate, on Wednesday, delivered a momentous decision by granting approval to President Bola Tinubu's request for a critical $2.347 billion in fresh foreign loans. This package, which includes a historic $500 million debut sovereign sukuk bond, is deemed essential for two paramount national goals: shoring up the financing for a portion of the 2025 budget deficit, executing the strategic refinancing of Nigeria's maturing Eurobonds. This significant legislative action followed the meticulous review and endorsement of the President's request, titled New External Borrowing and Refinancing, by the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debts, led by Senator Wamako Magatarkada Aliyu APC, Sokoto North. The breakdown reveals the dual purpose of the funds. $1.847 billion is earmarked for direct financing of the 2025 budget shortfall, a vital injection to keep the machinery of government running. The $500 million sukuk bond is specifically dedicated to funding key, transformative infrastructural projects across the country, aiming to finally bridge the deep-seated infrastructure gap that hampers national development. This high-stakes endorsement arrives against a backdrop of deep-seated national anxiety regarding Nigeria's spiraling debt profile, which has tragically climbed to over 97 trillion nairas as of mid-2025. This figure, released by the Debt Management Office, casts a shadow of caution over the Senate's move. While vocal critics sound a poignant warning about potential fiscal strain and the crushing burden on future generations, government officials and key senators maintain an unwavering conviction. They argue that strategic and judicious borrowing is not a luxury, but a fundamental necessity, a lifeblood required to sustain economic momentum, close the infrastructure chasm, and steadfastly maintain the nation's credibility and investor confidence on the global stage. The debate within the hallowed chambers saw strong defenses of the plan. Senator Wamako, presenting the committee's findings, articulated that the borrowing plan is indispensable for Nigeria's economic stability, ensuring the continuity of critical national projects, and safeguarding its all-important international credit reputation. Senator Sani Musa APC, Niger East, chairman of the Finance Committee, stressed its immediacy, stating, "We must give approval to this request so that the 2025 appropriation will be given the necessary funding," a plea for practicality. Senator Adetokunbo Abaru APC, Lagos East offered a calming clarification, describing the borrowing not as an addition to the debt burden, but as a compliance measure already captured within the approved 2025 budget. He emphasized the refinancing aspect, which is a crucial maneuver, to ensure that the country does not default in Eurobond servicing, securing our financial integrity. Senator Adams Oshiomhole APC, Edo North offered an impassioned defense, reminding the nation that loans, when properly structured and used to address critical issues like unemployment and infrastructural decay, are not a threat, but a powerful catalyst for economic growth and job creation. The Senate's final decision represents a powerful act of faith in the President's fiscal strategy, aiming to fortify Nigeria's financial position as it bravely navigates the turbulent waters of dwindling revenues and relentless debt servicing obligations in the new financial year.
That the Senate do approve the President's request on item 1, already approved. On item 2, already approved. On item 3, access aggregate external capital of USD 2.73 United States dollars 1 billion 222 million dollars, and then 1,180 billion through any of the following options in the international capital market: issuance of Eurobonds, loan syndications, bridge finance facilities from book runners, and direct borrowing from international financial institutions. Those in support of item 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The recommendation 3 is hereby accepted.
The Nigerian Senate, during its Wednesday plenary session, officially confirmed President Bola Tinubu's nominees for the critical positions of service chiefs, marking a pivotal step in the administration's security architecture overhaul. The confirmed military leaders are Olufemi Oluide as the Chief of Defense Staff, Wahidi Shaibu as the Chief of Army Staff, Idi Abbas as the Chief of Naval Staff, Kelvin Anik as the Chief of Air Staff. The confirmation process followed the President's formal request to the upper legislative chamber to screen and approve the appointments. The entire Wednesday session was dedicated to this vital exercise, which included an intensive, closed-door screening that spanned over 2 hours. During the session, senators engaged the nominees, critically assessing their strategic blueprints for strengthening national security, enhancing operational capabilities, and implementing essential reforms within the armed forces. Following the rigorous screening, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, affirmed the significance of the confirmation. He stated that the approval signifies a renewed national confidence in the Tinubu administration's security reform agenda. Furthermore, he emphasized that the swift confirmation sends a clear and resolute signal that the government is unwaveringly focused on its fundamental mandate, protecting the lives and property of all citizens. Akpabio commended the Red Chamber for its dedication to the exercise, characterizing the commitment of an entire sitting to the confirmations as an act of patriotic duty toward the nation's security.
We all know that the resources are not enough. The enablers are not enough. So it makes it very difficult to get everything required to prosecute the war against terrorism, banditry, and other sundry crimes in Nigeria. What do I mean by this? For a right-thinking fellow, when there's danger, you are expected to retreat. But for a soldier, you are expected to go forward and face that challenge.
What immediate action do you intend to take in addressing acts of terrorism, insurgency, and mandatory bedeviling the country, having regard to your experience in the various theater of war?
I totally agree with the Chief of Army Staff nominee's opinion. De-radicalizing the repentant criminals is a good way forward, but what of the moral burden?
And you fire these things every day. So it is not a business for the chicken-minded. The armed forces is that part of government which you must spend money and hope not to use. If you do not have it, you are a chicken waiting for the hawk to be carried.
To our surprise, in spite of the fact that they are here for the armed forces, they went further to say that they want to urge the National Assembly to also protect the police forces.